This is the Redallover show with me, Josh Everton, Andy Simcox, Dean, and Craig. There's a chance Andy might not make it through this introduction, or the rest of the show, we'll see, because his brand new, really fast internet is dodgy at best. Dodgy at best.
Keeps kicking me out, but you know.
So Andy could be here for the whole show. It might be 5 minutes. We'll see. So strap yourselves in. We're going to speak about the Bradford City game coming up and cover the international break as well. So a couple of the young players have been playing. But first, there's one thing that's going on in Barnsley at the minute called the Hut, which seen Barnsley Radio do something about it, and it's something that my granddad has been taking part in as well. It's so part of Age UK. They started doing something called the Huts, which is for people over 50, and if you're into crafting, woodworking, upcycling, those kind of things, it's for both men and women. So if you're interested in anything like that, if you type in the Hut into Facebook, there's loads of information about it. I'll put the link in the description here below. People are free to join. They're more than happy to have more and more people come. It's for men and women. So yeah, if you're interested, go and check it out. So, Andy, whilst we've had a week or two away from league action, there's been a little bit of international action, but it does seem to be more players who aren't really current first team players or such, or week in, week out players. But closest rivalry is Jonathan Bland playing for Wales under 21. So there's been John Russell playing for Jamaica, Jonathan Bland out with Wales, Ben McCann with Northern Ireland alongside Patrick Kelly as well. And I think that's just about it for internationals. A lot of young players there playing for 21s teams, only John Russell playing for the senior team. But good to see that there's still some representation in the youth side of these national clubs from ourselves.
Recognition into it for the players that we've got, you know, at whatever level they play, under 18, under 21s, you know, full internationals. It's still recognition for them to show that they're doing well. And you know, in this country, we've got a lot of good under 21 players, and so such as Wales and Ireland. So, you know, I'm pleased for Jonathan Bland, pleased for Kelly particularly. Bailey McCann, you know, he's a good taste. It's going to stand them all in good stead as the careers progress. Hopefully, with us. So, well done to them.
Yeah, it is. It is good, Dean. Obviously, keeping players in check as well in terms of just keeping them keeping their eye on, because you got John Russell who's coming on as a bit part player at the minute. Jonathan Bland sort of in and out the first team, playing multiple positions within that as well. Probably the one out of the lot of international who plays the most. Patrick Kelly coming back from injury, and obviously Bailey McCann out on loan at Peterborough Sports, I think, down there. So it's good to sort of keep them players fresh whilst they're not getting game time with us necessarily consistently.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they have played a fair amount, I suppose, this year. I mean, I was particularly pleased about Patrick Kelly. You know, he's been a starter at Northern Ireland for both games they've played, and obviously he's now fit, which gives me a lot of encouragement, because I think he's going to be a real star of the future. I've got absolutely no doubt. Jonathan Bland had a sort of mixed time, really. They got absolutely caned in one match, I think 7-0, and then went to Austria and won, and he was in the side. So, you know, he's at least experienced a clean sheet with somebody, obviously not us, for a while anyway. John Russell, I think they got a win and a loss. I can't remember now. And I think you said he played about 80 minutes. So, yeah, I mean, it's good for him. I mean, it disrupts training a little bit back at the ranch, because I would have thought definitely Jonathan Bland and Patrick Kelly would have been in line to potentially play at Bradford, and obviously they haven't been involved in any strategic structural work that's gone on. So I'm not really expecting them to start. And I think in midfield, I'm kind of expecting Vimal, who unfortunately for him missed out on the call up for Wales this time, but maybe hasn't been perhaps at his very best. So I personally expect more or less the first team against Bradford to not include the youngsters who've been out, plus John Russell. But good for them. It's always good for that recognition. People are watching them, and it can only help them being in different environments, different training methods, and keeps them fit.
Yeah, it is. Probably the international break has come at a good time for us, really, Craig. When you look at that sort of from the first international break we have from the Stevenage game being postponed and how we've gone about that period, which wasn't great. It's probably come at a nice time to reset, and obviously it seems a little bit different to last time because no players were posting that they're on holiday. I haven't seen any of that this time as such. So it does seem like it's been very much all hands to the pump probably over these last 2 weeks to try and rectify the last 3, 4, 5 games.
Yeah, and what's been most encouraging through this past couple of weeks is watching Marc Roberts start to make appearances on training pitches and stuff. So I think that's a massive plus for the club. And I'm excited to get the season back underway again because I hate these international breaks. They really annoy me. I don't mind watching England if we're playing somebody who's at a decent level, but when it's just watching them smash Latvia, I'm just not interested. You know what I mean? It's not my sort of thing. But yeah, it's great to have football back, and it's nice to see Blandy getting some minutes in for his national team and Kelly as well. And yeah, I'm just the only thing I keep looking at the table. I keep seeing, oh, you've got 2 games in hand, but then I look at who they're against, and it's against the top 2 in the league, and it's like, well, it kind of sobers you up a bit quick because you're like, oh, we could get into playoffs, and then it's like, but really, we'll see how it goes. Like I said, there's got to be a lot of work had to be done over this 2 weeks to get the lads back in a good shape of mind because they've took an hammering, especially online. People are starting to lose a bit of faith, and I think it's way too premature for that. So yeah, I hope Uran's got a bit of a good feeling back in camp.
Yeah, I think there's one point there that you brought up that probably leads into a little bit of the Bradford game of Marc Roberts being back. Say he's 100% fit and ready for that starting lineup, would you chuck him straight back in, Craig, or would you still try to somewhat bed him in? Because I mean, I suppose Shepherd and Earl have basically started the season together as that too. With Rooney not really making an impact coming into that 11, would you go straight back to Marc Roberts, or would you leave it a week or two first, just with it being Bradford and a little bit of a almost like you know what what you're going to get from Shepherd and Earl, whereas Roberts somewhat of an unknown with him coming back from 3 months off.
I can see arguments on both sides. I can see people saying chuck him straight in. It's a local derby. He's going to feel it more than any other player at team near enough, and he'll be really up for it. But really, how long has he been training? How intensely has he been training? Is it like I say, I'm not a medical expert, so I don't know the injury has got. Whether is it safe to bring him a full 90 minutes straight away, or is it something that you've got to bed him in over time? For me, I'd rather err on the side of caution and make sure he's here for a long time, not just to chuck him in as quick as you can. I don't actually think really Earl and Shepherd have been that bad, to be honest. Like I said, it's like I said in the last video. It just seems like momentary lapses of concentration that have cost us goals, and they've cost us goals every single time it's happened. And that very rarely happens in football, but it seems to happen to us a lot. But I think they're growing, like from the first game that they played together to the game to how they're playing now. They seem to be a lot more telepathic, as it's said, and they're building that relationship, especially with Murphy behind, knowing when he's going to come out, and also with the fullback. So for me, I don't think he's ready for a full 90 minutes just yet. I'd err on the side of caution. Maybe give him 20 minutes in the end if Earl's a little bit leggy, or one of them's on a yellow card set, or something similar to them sort of situations. But that's what I'd be looking to do.
Yeah, it does. It's one of them positions, and isn't it really, where you really want across the back line, really you want a very much a safe back four that you can trust week in, week out. It does feel like that centre half position is one of those that you don't want to mess around with too much if you don't need to, as such. Because it did seem like obviously Plymouth, everyone were fit and available, and Mark Robertson, Jack Shepherd were the two that got the nod. So you'd assume that that's Connor's preferred back two to have. But as Craig said there, rushing him back in, is it worth chucking him in for this game immediately? Because Shepherd and Earl have spent, what, 11 and a half games, more or less, building a relationship between each other and understanding each other a little bit more and better. And you're going to go, if you were to drop Mark Robertson, it's almost undoing all of that to just put Mark Robertson into the team.
Yeah, they've got a good understanding together, and they're conceding goals as well. Remember, soft goals, some of it. So I don't know. It all depends. I'm with Craig. I'm in two minds. If it happens that he's not picked in the lineup, and it's those two again, I just think, well, that's I'll trust Conor Hourihane to do it right. He'll know. But for me, if Mark Roberts is fit, may not be fully match fit. So in some respects, it's a game too early, really. It'd be nice, and this might happen. Might decide to wait and play him in midweek in the DAF Cup and give him a bit of a bit of game time to get up to speed. But if he's fit and he's up for it, he organises things. And what I do like, apart from everything else, is strength in the air. What I do like Jack Shepherd, he gets in the way of things. He puts himself in the way of shots. He don't stand there watching. And we're conceding goals by standing there watching, most of them. And that's so, for me, if he's fit enough and he's going to be able to last, then he should play. But I suspect it's too early, and he won't do. I suspect that his first proper game back will be in the week rather than against Bradford City. It'd be a shame because we could do with that added strength, that physicality, and added strength in defence because they're going to test us. There's no two ways about that. They're really going to test us.
Yeah, I mean, there's one potential from not to disrupt that backline even further, but I've seen that Jonathan Bland apparently played right centre back in a back five for Wales for the under-21s, Dean. So, I mean, not that we need to immediately go and start ripping up the entire defence, and here we go, Jonathan Bland can play centre half as well. But there is another option there as well of Jonathan Bland being in there. I mean, granted, not a great first game, shipping 7. But
Yeah.
I mean, there were three down. Then someone did get sent off, so there was a bit of context behind it. But there's still, again, as we mentioned before, Jonathan Bland, there's so much versatility with him of he can play more or less any way you want him to.
Well, when I first saw him playing for the under-18s, and I saw him a few times, he played centre back the whole time. So he's not unfamiliar with playing that position. I mean, obviously, he hasn't got the physical, shall we say, attributes that a big centre half has, but he reads the game extremely well and he senses danger. So, I mean, it's a possibility. I mean, Bradford play and seem to play every single game with a back three, well, 3-4-2-1. And yeah, I mean, against that, I would always play a back four and two wingers because I think there is a built-in vulnerability about playing three at the back, especially if you've got two really decent wingers, which I think we have now. I mean, whether Cleary plays is obviously another debate that I'm sure we'll come on to. But I think, I with Roberts, if he's fit, he plays. If there's any doubt about it, clearly he won't. And there is the opportunity, as Andy says, for him to get a slightly less intense reintroduction on Tuesday night against Manchester United.
Yeah, it does. It does feel. I'd probably agree there. But it does feel like a game too early. Ideally, it'd be nice to have that game this week just to see how it actually is, to see where we could pull through. Greg Dean there brought up another point of Bradford playing three at the back. Obviously, Reyes, Cleary, somewhat of a question mark on whether he would be included or not, because obviously McGoldrick were carrying a knock. against Wickham. Hence, Cleary, it seems to be almost the reason why Cleary did start over McGoldrick, but scored on his first start. And then at the same time, we do have that option, especially against us, right at the back of Phillips and Vickers being out on that right hand side with potentially almost less interest in them two. If their wing back is to bomb on constantly, there's going to be a little bit more space for them if we did break. So could be an interesting tactical battle, especially in that winger position for us.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping he reverts back to that. I think we lost some of that integral pass and go movement on that right hand side that we've become accustomed to, and I think that'd probably show one of their biggest weaknesses, which is if you can get in behind one of them wing backs, it's going to drag a centre back, and then it's going to completely mess with the formation and the structure that they've got, especially with the likes of the striker and the left winger getting in there as well. Maybe a midfielder pushing up. It kind of, you've got to try and outnumber teams that tend to play this style. I mean, we've seen it for the past few years near enough. Playing a similar style ourselves, and we know that down the wings is probably where you best to get us. But they're a dodgy team at Mini Bradford. They're hard to pinpoint on how to beat them, because I was looking into some stats, because obviously they've just come up, and I wanted to delve into why they've been as strong and as good as they have been. Obviously, people have been underestimating them, but they have the third most fouls per match, which means they get stuck in there.
Got max power in midfield. Remember that. They fight everybody.
They've got the third lowest passes per match and the fourth lowest average possession per match. So they don't keep the ball. They don't pass the ball about. They just hoof it and run. I think as the old Wimbledon used to do, where you just get a centre back to whack it up there, and that's it. You fight for the second ball. We know that it's not the most interesting style of football to watch, as we did with Big Val, because that's how he used to play: hoof it up to the big man and then fight for the second ball. But it's working for them, and I think that's probably one of the most appealing reasons why I would like Roberts to start if he's fit and healthy to do so, because he's aerially dominant. But so's Earl and so Shepherd, So we've got some big lads back there. They'll obviously want to stick it to Shepherd, because I don't think he was interested in staying there full time, and we'll want to stick it to Humphreys because he turned down our contract and joined them. So there's going to be some real needle in this game, and I'm here for it. I think it's exactly the sort of match you need to come into to get you right back in the mood for football again, because you had a dross 2 weeks and no football. You just need something to give you a bit of needle to get you back into the fight again, and I think this is going to give us everything we want to see.
Just on that there of the hoof ball, like if they are playing long ball against them, would you be somewhat tempted to? It's like, say Matt Roberts is fine and clear to play 90. Would you be tempted to go Shepherd, Roberts, Earl left back, just to have a little bit more aerial threat, and then Beater unfortunately dropped to the bench, but on a game by game basis, I suppose.
100%. What I would be tempted to do definitely is put Earl at left back. Also, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing a Reyes Cleary starting left wing and Better coming on and playing left wing when Reyes blows out. Both, I think he's just as accomplished as playing as a winger as he does as a left back. Even more so under Connor, I think he's giving him that freedom to do things in the final third that I think he's he's not had the license to do in the past, and he seems to be thriving under it, listening to his interviews. So I won't be against seeing him at left wing either. But yeah, I think when you come up against this sort of team, you need to have your biggest back four there. It's good to have Ten-Eye Watson's not too bad at air as well. Else we'd be all shouting for Divinity to get on that right back slot. But yeah, I'd definitely be doing that.
I've watched Bradford twice now. I watched the full Rotherham game I think just before the break, wasn't it? 2-2. Came back from 2 down, and I actually went to an EFL game, and I actually didn't get the impression they were banging it up front because, or certainly in the air. And I think I would probably not agree with you, Craig, on Earl, because Nerfville is an extremely quick, extremely tricky right wing back. He's not a particularly good defender, I don't think. They got him from Wimbledon, and Wimbledon really, really wanted to keep him, apparently. And I could see him turning Earl absolutely inside and out. I get they don't really play it in, as I say, in the air that much, because the Swan, who seems to start for him in the absence of Andy Cook, isn't, I don't think, particularly big, and I haven't noticed him being particularly strong in the air. So I think they probably transition very quickly and play quite a lot of long balls. But I think it's into the channels rather than the sort of Wimbledon style that rightly you described.
So, from watching that, would you say it's more like, because I've watched 0 Bradford games this season, so I've got no idea. Is it more like when we used to have Valerian and it'd be a case of just knock it into channels and let forwards chase after it? Because it does seem weird, as Craig said, they're like 4th least amount of completed pass and 3rd lowest possession as well.
Yeah.
So they don't,
Yeah, I mean,
they're not really interested in the ball as such.
They certainly don't play in triangles. That's for absolute certainty. But I do think they transition very quickly, and they transition with 30, 40-yard balls rather than necessarily 60, 70 in the air. So I'm not convinced that we would need Earl at left back. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I think Ogbetter with his pace would be better against Nerfville if he plays. But I don't think Nerfville's a very good defender at all. That's what I've seen so far. But they may play this Holiday, who's played about 300 games for them at right wing back, and he's not a particularly good attacker, but he's a good defender. So I really don't know what they'll do in the end. They've actually got quite a big squad, Bradford. When I looked at all the players who weren't playing the other night against Everton, and all those who were, they've all had a fair bit of first team action. So they've probably got a bigger squad than we have. They've got some good players.
I mean, we know they have Stephen Humphries as well, because he's not really got so much of a look in so far this season. Really, it seems like he's been used a bit sparingly. Andy, would you keep that back four sort of similar to what it has been in terms of Ogbetter and Josh Earl?
Yeah.
Should Marc Roberts be fit?
Apart from potentially Marc Roberts that we've talked about, but either, if Roberts plays, then for me it would be, as it stands now, it would be instead of Josh Earl at this minute. And put Jack Shepherd, because Jack Shepherd will want to do well against the club he spent a season with. So, and they rated him, one of their best players last season, helped get him promotion right at the end of the season. So that's a bit for me. I wouldn't be putting Josh Earl there, particularly if they've got a quick winger. I'm with Dean on that.
Really quick.
Well, they're all quick, to me, Dean.
Won't be that quick.
But for me,
if he's off at Ordins, though.
I know we messed about a bit last time because of McGoldrick. Well, potentially because McGoldrick were injured, and Vickers played. He didn't play as a right winger anyway. He played sort of behind the striker and going where he wanted, which I thought he did all right. I think a bit wasteful. I think he's best when he's on the right hand side, 1-on-1, and takes him on 1-on-1. But for me, there's. It's hard to say, but for me, I don't see. I think it might happen, but I don't see our Reyes Cleary can be dropped after the last game, because he was, apart from scoring, he was outstanding, absolutely outstanding, and he frightened them to death. Wickham had no chance against me, frightened them to death. So I would have them both. I'd have them both on each wing and put Phillips sort of in that loose role, which he has played a number of times this season. and then we'll see how, for me, we'll see how it goes, and McGoldrick can come on, because I think it's most likely to not be starting up front. I think it's most likely to be DKD. So that's what I tend to do. But with Conor Hourihane sees him day in, day out on the training field. I wouldn't change the back. I understand what you're saying about Johnny Bland, but it's been away. They've not had any chance to work on anything. I'm not saying they should change it to a back three and him play in defence or as a sweeper, but it's not been there to try it out and practice it really. So I wouldn't be making any great differences with that. So that would be it for me. Get the two young wingers actually where they play on the wing and frighten them to, especially with wing backs. Get the wing backs pinned back and get at them. Just get at them down the wings. Get to the wingers and say, go on, have a go at him. If they get tackled, they get tackled. I'm not going to go on anybody's back if they get tackled. Well, we'll get on the back as if they stop and check back and don't try, because what's the point of having wingers if they're not going to try and go down the wing? That's the bit that irritates me, not the lads we've got. So, yeah, both wingers and get at them.
Very good.
They've only lost one game all season, and they've not lost any at home. They've played 5 league matches. Is it 5 league matches at home? Yeah, and they've won them all, plus a couple of Daft Cup matches at home that they've won and all, including last night when Humphreys did his send no harm by scoring 2 goals. I don't know what Everton under 21s, but shouldn't be in the competition. But there you go. That's a waste, isn't it? That's helping the national squad a long way, isn't it? An under 21 team getting hammered by a League One team. So anyway, yeah, get the wingers on, and get them at them. Get those wing backs pinned back. That'd be my view. But what do I know?
I didn't, and I haven't been very impressed with their left wing back. Left wing back, who's, I think his name's Wright, but I didn't rate him at all particularly. And one of the centre backs, the left side centre back, will either be Kelly, who I thought, was a bit Earl-esque, if that's a word that I can conjure up.
Earl-esque. Not burlesque then. Earlesque.
No. That's what you do in your spare time. But yeah,
that will be between us.
Oh, sorry, man. Sorry. But yeah, so I think there might be a bit of joy down that side of the pitch for us. If Philip, mind you, I said that against Blackpool, and then Phillips and Vickers never turned up. So I could be wrong.
That Blackpool game's all your fault, Dean.
Oh no!
Is that what we're taking from that?
Suppose we could turn it all on its head and give them ball and let them have all the ball, let them load of possession. They'll not know what to do with it. Not be used to it, and then they won't break with 2 quick wingers. Just a joke, actually, not a thought. A joke.
One interesting thing, Craig, is Andy's mentioned there, they've won all the games at home this season, and in that as well, some of the sides they've beaten this season beat Cardiff away 3-1, beat Stockport away 2-1, beating Luton at home 2-1. But it's the games that they have lost and drawn. They're almost them that you'd expect them to win. A 0-0 draw against Northampton, 1 apiece against Peterborough, and I suppose the Doncaster one's probably the most justified loss in the terms of where Doncaster are in the league, of another tricky game. So it's not like Bradford are in a false position of they've only played sides that set off poorly, or they've just played bottom half at table. They've beaten sides that you would expect to be well up there come the end of the season. Huddersfield 3-1 as well a month ago. But it does seem that like they're struggling. I mean, not that it's great for us that they are struggling against the lesser sides, you'd say, in this league, or the sides that aren't doing too well. When it seems like when they come up against a side that might have a go at them, they're picking them off nicely and picking up a result. Yeah,
because they primarily play counter-attacking football, and the teams that at the top of the table underestimate them. I think I said it at the start of the show. The bigger teams are seeing them as cannon fodder, and they're just throwing the players up the pitch, and they're getting picked off each and every time. It's going to get round about now in the season when teams are going to start noticing that and playing a bit more conservative against them, and maybe not so gung-ho. So, like I say, I'm not going to knock Bradford. I'm not going to say that I think they're going to, drop or all like that. But I think they're going to find it a lot tougher in future games because I don't think people are going to start looking at them as favourably as they have done. Because start of season, everybody like, oh, Bradford, that's an easy 3 points. They've just come up, not much expectation there and stuff. But now there's going to be expectation from their fans because they've seen a bunch of results which they're going to plan the next 10, 20 games on. They're going to expect them to keep at the same standard of play and standard of winning games like they have been doing. But then again, the other teams are going to take notice of how well they've been playing and alter their play and stuff accordingly. So I think it's probably going to get a bit harder for them, and we'll just have to see whether they can keep up this run of results because they've got the most average goals per game in the league, averaging 1.8 goals a game. That's more than anybody else. So they've been taking the chances, and I think that's one of the things that people don't tend to talk about is taking your chances is probably the most important thing in football. You can have 100 chances, you don't take one, you ain't going to win. And that they've been prolific, especially at home. So look, we're going to a fortress on Saturday, and it's a fortress that they've been making over the past 18 months since it got relegated. To be fair, they've been really good at home, really strong. Still can't fill the stadium though, from what I've seen. There seems to be a few spare seats knocking about, but then again, we can't really say that with Oakwell's been pretty much the same, to be fair. So let's pack out their stadium, especially in away end, and let's get started on a win until next month when there's another international break that we can all look forward to.
Well, we've sold 3,000 tickets. They've all gone. I'm in that stand behind the goal, which shakes and rattles, and it's quite frightening, actually.
Like Hillsborough. Oh no, I forgot they've shut that down, haven't they?
The only one that's worse was at QPR behind the goal. That is awful.
No, Newcastle's is worse.
Blows,
we have to sit right up there.
Turbulent.
I mean, they've been getting good crowds, haven't they? The vast majority of their crowds has been like 19,000 and odd, and going up to 21 and another 21, a 24, I think it was against Huddersfield, to local derby. So you would expect it to be something similar. And there's all been the talk about, that their season tickets have been cheaper than a lot of clubs, and they've gone for large numbers of fans, which all play to them. It's done them proud as far as the support they get, and it's worked, hasn't it? They got promotion, second in the league, so it's working out really well for them. Getting better crowds than us.
25,000 just to see.
Well, it's a city. I know it's stuck between Huddersfield on the one side and Leeds on the other side, but it's still a city.
Yeah.
So
it's the 8th biggest city in the UK, apparently.
I did not know that. That is a
there
stat.
You go.
That is a stat. One thing, Dean, that is a little bit of a question mark for Bradford is I think Bobby Poynton is potentially a doubt for the weekend. I think is their top goal scorer. Should my memory serve
thought
me
it was
correct.
Swan. I thought Swan was their top scorer.
I'm going off what Sam, the Bradford fan, said on the radio. So don't shoot the messenger. I'm just passing on the information I got. Who is potentially a doubt, which is nice to hear, given that we're coming up a side against who's not just unbeaten at home, has won every game so far this season at home.
Yeah.
In that, so potentially a little bit of something to hang his hats on there.
He's a good player. I mean, he's very mobile. Works extremely hard. He's a bit like Keeler Dunn in that sense. Really gives it absolutely everything. And the fans love him. The fans absolutely love Poynton. So yeah, I mean that would be a bit of an advantage. If he doesn't play, then Humphreys possibly would, although I've got some pals, as you know, who are Bradford supporters, unfortunately, and they don't seem to think Humphreys fits their style. Generally,
he don't try that sort of style.
That's harsh. Harsh, folks.
I know. He's not our player. I don't care.
He only went missing for about 25 games, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Well, for the last 5 games of the season when he were out on wing, which is his natural position, in fairness to him. Oh.
But
He'll score a hat-trick, won't he, against us? He'll try for 90 minutes, score an hat-trick and set 3 others up.
I know. Well, he scored 2 on Tuesday, didn't he? And assisted 1. So he's in good shape.
Jack Shepherd will rate him, don't worry about that.
I wouldn't mind him playing because I don't think he's a difficult player to play against, to be honest. That's my personal view.
Yeah, you can go mark him then, Dean, if you want.
That's what I'm about to say.
Well,
Get a bit of centre back.
I'll tell you what, go back 50 years and I would have loved to have marked him because I know what he's going to do every single time he gets the ball. So.
Cut inside.
Yeah.
Put him on his left foot, he's useless.
Yeah.
And now he's going to score a banger with his left foot.
Of course he is.
About putting on his left foot, put him on his backside is what I'd say. Well, there you go. What do I
Wall bottom.
Yeah.
Ordin's first tackle.
Who's going to score a left-footed banger then? Is it going to be Wilfred or Shepherd?
Yeah. It'll all be my fault.
Yeah.
We're all going to come back to this video.
That's it. We'll have to get Tracy back on.
Yeah.
We've had enough of y'all.
I'll just say a couple of things, Josh. Just a couple of things, really. First is for people that's wondering, is there an away end? Well, it don't look like there is because Tracy's been trying to get hold of some of their podcasters and not had a reply. You know, we've tried, or she's tried via Gabe Sutton as well, and we've not had anything back. So I'm assuming, you never know, it might happen, but I'm assuming that there won't be. So that's one thing. And then there's the good and the bad. I've got a lot of time for Bradford City, and I think Dean will have the same as me.
Mm-hmm.
You got to remember the 26th of April, 1997.
Yeah.
We beat Bradford 2-0 to get into the Premier League for the first and only time. And it were packed up well by us. It were packed with Bradford fans, and they celebrated with us.
Yeah, they did.
Fair play to them, they celebrated.
Yeah.
I mean, towards then, when it were 1-0, towards the end, they even helped us out by being through on goal with just the goalie to beat it. Hit it post. That helped.
I'll do a Smithy. That was Sun got.
Yeah. No. I think he thought he was Coyote Odijay for a moment, I think. And then obviously we scored the winner, and with a couple of minutes to go, and the job were a good one. But they celebrated like they'd got promotion. So when they finally did a few years later get promotion, I was really, really chuffed for them. So really chuffed about that. The way they showed an incredible amount of class. So that's the good side. The bad side is obviously 1985, 11th May 1985, when 56 people died, 54 Bradford fans and 2 Lincoln City fans, and it was either all the more poignant because they just won, presented with the championship. Last match of the season, they'd won the 3rd Division Championship, now League One, 3rd Division in I want to say old money, proper money. And so, and the hundreds injured as well.
It was horrific.
So it was a horrific thing that that you could see on the television.
Two of my friends were in the stadium.
Not what you want.
Yeah, which was horrific. I mean, they're a really nice club at Bradford. I've got nothing against them at all. They're not pretentious. They just get on with what they do. They do it in their own way, which I admire. And I mean, this giving season tickets away for virtually nothing has been going on for how many years? 8, 9 years, maybe, even 10. I don't know. But the atmosphere in the stadium is good. And I've got nothing bad to say about Bradford City.
the fans were exemplary. So so well done to them. About over 2,500 people were injured as well. It weren't just that 56 people died, but how horrific is that, going to a football match and then not coming back, and then superseded by Hillsborough. A lot said about that, but let's not forget Bradford with a fire, horrendous, absolutely horrendous. And they shine through.
Yeah,
they shine through. So
at work, we all did a sponsored walk to raise money for the victims of the fire disaster, or the family of the victims, should I say? Yeah, I remember that.
I never knew
then
that.
back to the present, they're going to have some people. They've got Graham Alexander as manager, who's an experienced manager at this level, aren't they? And what I didn't realise until I had a little look, Chris Lucchetti as the assistant manager, and he really was a no nonsense centre half.
How many times
for a few, but primarily Berry, what a centre half he was. So it wouldn't surprise me that they'd start. Like we've got Richard Keogh, they'd start sort of sorting out the defence, because they are conceding about a goal a game, remember? So, they're not that different to us in terms of how many they concede. We just concede a few more. But
in terms of that, we've conceded one more than them. That's it.
Yeah.
This season. Yeah. I mean, they've scored 4 more. So, yeah, I never knew that context that was behind the Valley Prey fire. I never knew that it were on the day of them receiving the champion.
Yeah, last match of the season, last game of the season, at home to Lincoln City, and they'd already been presented with the trophy. So that was tragic, absolutely tragic.
It does feel like one of those more friendly rivalries as opposed to like Leeds or Wednesday or like that. Like you're saying, we just feel like it just feels there's almost like a different feel towards it rather than some of the other ones.
No animosity at all, as far as I'm concerned, or what I've ever seen. No animosity at all from or to Bradford City. So I wish them all the very, very best in the season, except for Saturday and the return fixture. And get stuffed for that. But that apart, we'd look to
them. Predictions, Craig? What are you going with?
It's going to be a tough game, I think. I don't know where we're at. That's the problem. I know we can score, but I know we can concede. So I am going to go for the Desmond. I don't think either team's going to keep a clean sheet. And I wouldn't mind being the first team to not let them win at their own ground, even if that means drawing against them. Because I think, I'll take any little pluses I can at this moment in time.
It does feel weird if a newly put aside going, I'd take a point there. It does feel a little bit strange of saying that. Dean?
Yeah, I think we're going to upset them. And I think we will upset them by winning 1-0. And that's going to be a problem because I'm having some drinks after the game with my mates from Bradford.
Put them on the backsides, Dean.
So if we do win and we don't see you again, we know what happened.
Cut into small pieces.
Don't worry, Craig. Tracy will be back. Don't worry.
If your internet holds up, though, we still need something to back you up.
We can fill his berth. Don't worry, Craig. We can fill his berth.
It's just going to be in Craig next week because your internet's not working and Dean's been banned.
He's held up all right, hasn't it?
I know it's weird.
I'm saying it quick before it goes.
It's weird how since you press
I'm
record,
just
it's
saying...
been fine. Before I press record, you'd gone 3 times.
I know.
So quickly, prediction.
You should never go into a game thinking that you'll draw or not win or what have you. So it's absolutely, we've got to go into a game, get on front foot, get at them, get under them and get at them and lose 2-1.
Always a voice of positivity.
Voice of reason.
I think he's showing his
There's
age.
method in it. There's method in it. I've told you before, method in it.
You say that, but looking at a league table, there's not. Because I'm sure you've said just about 2-1 for every single game this season, and
For us,
mean-
the only time, one of the times I didn't say 2-1 for us, I went 1-0 and we won 2-1. Only time we've won 2-1.
I think that's when I played 2-1
So
as well.
I can't put 2-1 for us at minute.
I run away with them points.
We'll be winning 1-0 with 2 minutes to go, and we'll lose 2-1. Is that explicit enough?
Josh, we've got a winner, draw, and a loss going on here, so you've got the casting vote, mate.
yeah.
Also, bear in mind the last 3 times we've played, that's twice in the cup and once in the league, there's been a red card.
Oh,
One being Shepherd, one being Chickson, and then being Adam Jackson.
Oh yeah.
So does that make us 2-1?
It makes a defender getting sent off each of the last 3 times we've played them. So a defender's probably going to get sent off too.
At least we're winning that 2-1, though, I suppose.
See, might be an omen, you never know.
We'll say in those games, have we lost? I know we lost when Shepherd got sent off.
5-1.
5-1.
5-1.
But what about?
We won the other 2, I believe.
Oh, sorry, we won with 10 men.
We won 3-0 in that one, and we won 2-1 in the one before.
Oh.
can I give a little shout out to our prediction league? Tell you where people are at, because some of it's interesting and some not so interesting. On 13 points up at the top, jointly, Michael Brewer and Robert Howard. Robert.
I feel like Michael's always top of these leagues.
Yeah.
I think
because he knows what he's talking about. If you read his
constantly-
comments, he knows what he's talking about.
I'll be checking Andy's bank balance for a few readies in there that have been unaccounted for.
I don't even live in this country, but anyway, there you go. Dave Brown's on 11, as is Keith Jacks. They're doing all right. Oh dear, this is where it gets. Dave Booth, Russell Frost, Tracy Martin, and Josh Atherton are on 10 points, but they share 10 points with Alan Smith. Who predicts 3-1 every. So you're both as good as Alan. So, very well done to that. And then Dean, you're on 9 points. You're only a point behind, and you share it with Mia Wood. His young daughter, bless her, and Mia knows more than Craig and me, because I'm on 7. I can't remember what Craig's on. And
I think I'm way down on like 6 or 5 at this point. So.
What's really scary is that Joe Beardsley's on 8. He's above us and all, and he's useless.
I didn't want a shirt anyway.
He's absolutely useless. Tom Webster's on the same number as my grandson Noah. Craig's on 7, so it's same as Tom. It's same as Tom and same as Noah. Not good. Not good. You're not in good company, Craig.
You're only a Desmond Tutu
I'm used to it.
There.
So yeah, I would seriously say, have a look when shows go up. Have a look at Michael Brewer's comments. He puts some extensive and insightful comments. Bless him. So don't let him put you down, Michael. Don't let him put you down. You're at the top. You and Robert are at the top on merit. So
not one person's putting down. We've just all said we're going to copy him.
Yeah.
So this league is going to be very boring.
We can't copy anybody. We're first to predict every time. I think that's why I'm further that league.
Changing comments if you want, Craig. Just
that. Oh, that'll put Andy through a rate loop. That one if I did that every week.
Do it.
Ignore it.
Do it 2:59 as well. Just before we.
You've no idea how many people do that. It's wrong. It's wrong. The wrong uns, the ones that do it with a minute to go, are wrong uns, because I would have to look at that and I'm missing game. So I just think, you can get lost. I'm not going to.
How many do you have that do it like 10 minutes in when we're playing absolutely rubbish?
I could do it then. I hope and wait for an injury and hope somebody's down for 5 minutes so I can have a quick go up. But anyway.
When Murphy Cooper goes down every game for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as we get a goal kick,
his inevitable yellow card.
He don't even have to go down, does he? I can just wait while we get a goal kick, and I can look by the time he's taking it.
We thought Brad Collins were quality at that, but he blows him out of water. Brilliant.
Obligatory 5-minute cramp in hamstring once a week. Hard work.
What's your prediction anyway, Josh? You didn't say
that. I am going to go. I am going to go similar to you, Craig. I did fancy 2-2, but because you've gone 2-2, I'll go one apiece.
You said I was sitting on fence and not very positive, but you were going to go the same.
Did I say that?
Yes. Might not be saying sitting on fence, but you said I want rate positive.
No, just for a voice of positivity, as always. Oh, I thought I said that to Dean for saying we win. Yeah, draw's a smart bet. That's what's going to happen. Draw's a smart bet. We'll draw. I just think we're very similar. I'd either draw or lose. I can't see us winning, unfortunately.
Would be exactly the same if we'd won all our games at home, but we haven't, and they have. So think on it. You might be hoping against hope, but 5 wins out of 5. They are no mugs at home, second in the table. They're not dropping like a stone like we've been doing.
Well, we have ended this with so much positivity.
We've been dropping clangers, to be quite honest.
We've ended this on a nice high. We spoke about it before. It sounded like a very balanced game.
Football's back, everybody. Wow. Enjoy.
I've not forgiven them for Wickham yet. Not forgiven them yet. They'll have to win me back. Win me back on Saturday.
Reyes Cleary masterclass incoming. Right, we'll be back on Sunday morning with our reaction to the Bradford game after we've been pecked by the chickens. We'll see you there, you Reds.